What's going on, everyone? So yeah, this is going to be a pony spanking video here. We're gonna make the ponies sit down and put them in their place. We got some funny stuff, to laugh at. One starting right here, with somebody using the word 8K, 60 frames per second for PlayStation 5 Pro. hmm hmm Then we got Tripster being a fraud, trying to make Mario Kart look a certain way that is not real so that Sony can look like a white knight because he still wants to lick Sony's cancel rainbow balls daily. He can't get enough. And he feels threatened by Nintendo, so he has to make them look a certain way so that Sony can look so good to me and to everyone else. Be genuine, please. Just let reality be reality. Whatever happens, happens. And then we got some comments over here we're going to get to. So let's start off with this over here. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, y'all. Let's get ready. This guy says, thank you. Thank you for funding those crunch hours to ensure Xbox first party games are PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced, running them at 8K 60 frames. What? 8K 60 frames per second. We're not done. This is what's even better. I can't. We're not doing video, so let's have this open. Guys. Boy, I tell you, we see a new level of dumb each day. And then there's probably people like him dumber by the hour. Not trying to be but we know how difficult it is for consoles to do 4K 30 with ray tracing on. Like, just even think about native 4K 30 in general with ray tracing. It's gonna have to be upscaled with, like, let's think about some Alan Wake, right? To 860p upscaled on the Pro. This guy's talking about 8K. It can't even do native 1440p 60 frames per second on a lot of games. And if you want to do ray tracing, you're out of your damn mind. And ray tracing now has multiple levels, right? Even going all the way up to path tracing. And I would never want to have a brain that thinks like his because I don't want to know how that feels, if y'all catch my drift here. Yeah, I mean, he really believes that all the future Xbox games are going to be running at 8K, 60 frames per second, with ray tracing on. We appreciate working harder for PlayStation consumers than their own consumers. Uncle Phil is a real one for that. Oh man, bro. And this was a highlight right here by the Chaos Lounge. 8K 60 FPS. He's laughing very hard. I don't think there are enough emojis. And then Demo Flow comments on this, says peak insanity. Exactly. He says, "Oh, dude, believe me, it's crazy that Xbox will work extra hard to ensure PlayStation players are getting the best versions between the two consoles. I guess when they raised Game Pass prices, it was to be able to pay for those crunch hours porting these games." What an idiot. No, dude. If you're going to be a publisher, you want to be the best at being a publisher. You need to make sure whatever you're publishing from is quality because that shows your publishing quality. Console wars put aside, that means that's you're being more professional. You're saying you don't want them to be professional in their publishing? Like the port should be bad? Like Sony wanted the world to see and the battle they had in Activision? A court battle? Remember they said, nah, they're going to make things run worse. Well, that backfired because that did not happen. This is not defending anyone either. This is just, with me, it's about speaking the truth about literally what is happening and what happened. As far as Game Pass prices going up, I mean, bro, did Netflix go up? How many times? Yeah, expect that. Anyways, moving on to the next, this guy. Good Lord, Tripster. So we're going to get to what I said here. He says, imagine paying $450 for $80 games, just one game, though nobody agrees with that, just to look like this. This is the most fraudulent post I've seen him do recently. Because Here's my thing. If I want to criticize somebody, I need to criticize them being as genuine as possible. Because if I'm doing work professionally, if I'm doing content, or if I have an influence on my channel, like this guy has 886 followers, which that's not really that much, but he still has people following him agreeing with this fraudulent behavior. I want to display critical analysis on something with honest reflections. This is dishonest behavior here. Watch this, what I do right here. This is what I do with this pony right here. I said melt down screenshot on purpose to make it look bad already shows just how much of a fraud you are. This has nothing to do with Mario Kart. This has nothing to do with $80. This has everything to do with his character and how he is okay with all those other people displaying that dishonest behavior. Why do you want to represent Sony being an idiot in front of people more intelligent than you? Pony, sit down. Time to get a little bit more vicious again on y'all, because here y'all come again, you see? Look at the difference between that. By the way, this game is going to be at 4K. And remember, there's way more on the screen. I mean, just look how much better this looks, right? Do you see what he was trying to show, though? That's why I said it's dishonest behavior. If you want to say this and still be dissatisfied and criticize this, I'd be like, okay, I can at least accept it. You just probably want to do that, or you still want to make Sony look a certain way. But don't do this type of behavior to make the game look a certain way and try to put that in people's head when it's like, bro, but the game doesn't look like that, like not even close. You know, it's like, you ponies, man, y'all are such frauds. It blows my mind. We're talking about character to character. Where's your integrity at? You know what I mean? Video games aside. But it's quite obvious your insecurities are coming out towards Nintendo. All right, let's get to some comment. Let's get the important comment thread here on my channel and another one down here. Y'all ready for this? Okay, let's start off with Rob here. AGN. So just wondered, because they're Max, I'm roasting Sony. If the PlayStation 5 is so bad, then why do you have one? It's a stupid question. It's what they promised at the beginning of the generation. And the carryover I was excited for. And from the ground up exclusives. The point is exclusives always when we're talking about consoles now. Otherwise, what is the point? Because PC is better for like playing games like at higher settings. You know what I mean? So it's like I have the PlayStation 5 because I'm the type of gamer that I will pay for the gaming experience to get my gaming experience. I've always been that way. I'm a hardcore gamer. You know what I mean? And I've been gaming for 32 years now, a long time, beat over 2,000 plus video games, all the way from NES all the way up to now. And I've played and owned all the consoles. So it wasn't just Nintendo. No. It was Nintendo. It was Sega for the beginning, for the longest. Then Sony came in and I got that. And then I got the handhelds, all that, everything. Original Xbox, all that. So I'm a supporter of the gaming industry. I don't hate PlayStation, but I don't like Sony. I respect PlayStation as a gamer because in ways it helped gaming in some ways. You can't just say it's all only negative. That's impossible. People will not tell you that that's an honest reflection from the PS2 experience or PS1 experience. You know what I mean? Or even PS3 and PS4. I've enjoyed those generations. But I am not enjoying the PS5 generation, and I think it's better to be honest about that. Why do you want to fake it? You know what I mean? That's what I mean. It's like, I'm not doing any of this to benefit anything. I'm being honest about how I actually feel. And you can either accept that or not. That's your free will of choice. But going down here, the exclusives, that's why I like that. So they can't be that bad then. I never once said Sony exclusives were bad, and I didn't tell anybody not to buy a PlayStation 5. I'm just talking about my disappointment towards them and how we need to be critical so that they can do better. And I just think that they can just cruise drive because they beat Microsoft in hardware sales. And then slack in other departments where you should always want to be at the highest quality. That's one thing I like about Nintendo. They won't do that. They got too much pride and they're just going to be like, no, I would never do that to my products. And you know what I mean? Like, it's a difference of like, yeah, you won, but are you still like, you won with your base that supported you. So you should reward them, not cancel more games and all this other stuff. Like you can criticize people and still support them, you know what I mean? And still enjoy their platform. I don't get that type of mentality. Stupid mentality. True gamers have them all. Yeah, I have them all. AGN says Xbox is better for 2025 when it comes to video games, pro consumer, content service. Uh, Yeah, it is. What is Sony doing for me in 2025 as a gaming experience? You see what I'm talking about? When I talk about Sony, I'm talking about when I pick this up, I turn on the console, and I'm playing. What are you doing for me in 2025? Right? What is Microsoft doing for me in 2025? A lot. As far as gaming content and value and just variety, Nintendo's gonna be doing the same thing. I'm just gonna have to pay for everything. But what I'm saying is that they're providing and they're gonna boost the whole entire gaming industry. And third-party developers are going to make a lot of money. We're going to get more video games. The gaming industry is going to keep going. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to keep growing. Despite some people complaining about the 79, my thing with that is like I said, I don't like it either. There's nothing we can do about that. But outside of that, the gaming industry is still going to grow in so many other departments. There's so many other positive things that are going to happen outside of that. So you can decide whether you want to support that or not, depending on how that's going. But other people trying that, yeah, your games are going to flop. But everyone actually knows this is not true. It's just copium. What do I need to cope about? Like, I've been playing my Xbox on max settings here. I got your PlayStation games on max settings if I want to do it. Everything is on PC besides Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo first party games. So the new meta is literally PC Nintendo Switch 2. And being able to have the hybrid aspect there. Microsoft's bringing their games there too, and so is Sony. So you got the best of all worlds between those two devices. Because Nintendo's not going to bend the knee to PC. If you understand the way the industry works, you know that they don't need to bend the knee. They never did. So, and because they can do it. Anybody else that could do the same thing will do the same thing. It would be stupid for you not to. You see what I'm saying here? So I'm trying to figure out where the copium is, like for me, when I have all and I'm enjoying all at the highest settings, wherever that's available. The one it's coping is you in the PlayStation world. What do you have to really talk about? What, Marathon? Okay, Death Stranding 2 is not your game. It's Kojima's games now, and that's coming to PC, Xbox, and it'll be coming to Switch too. So you got a Ghost of Yote. That looks good. I like Ghost of Yote. So, okay, yeah, you got that game. But other than that, yeah, when it comes to the scales, Sony's way down still. And that positivity needs to be lifted way up. What do we talk about here? The Series X is objectively better than the PlayStation 5 in terms of hardware and features, including backwards compatibility, true, FPS boost, and quick resume. See, when you see these type of things, either you accept it to me or you deny it and want to live in a fanboy fantasy and you want to project what you're fanboying about to be positive and be better. Where it's like, no, no, just face reality. That's who you are. Like everything he's saying is facts, regardless of whether I like it or not. You see? You want that for your character, PONYS. Keep watching AGN so you can learn. Let's go over here to this next thread. This guy says, LOL, the X does not outperform the Pro. Whoever said that? And this was like, when did I say it does better than the Pro? My title's about PS5. Just stop with the nonsense. The nonsense is what you're typing because it never happened. You're imagining it. Mm-hmm. Could imagine you probably imagine yourself sucking off Sony, coming in here defending them. You took one small aspect of the breakdown and misinformed. What are you talking about? Digital Foundry confirmed the Pro is the best version. I don't remember. I don't remember saying that it wasn't. It doesn't make any sense for it not to be. That by default makes sense. Let's scroll up here a little bit. Let's look at this title here. PlayStation fanboys co-part up the Xbox Series X outperforms PlayStation 5 on Indiana Jones. Xbox butter. Where did I say PlayStation 5 Pro? So let's get back down here. Shut your punk ass up. Don't be making up shit. What's wrong with you? Slap you back into the present reality. What the hell's wrong with you? Coming on my channel, telling me the X does not outperform the Pro, like I don't know that. Just stop with the nonsense. No, the AGN's not doing no nonsense. This is what you're doing, bro, and you just got slapped. I might slap you again. Slap you into another dimension. You took one small aspect of the breakdown and misinformed. You're misinforming people about what I didn't do. Set your punk ass up. Digital Foundry confirmed the Pro is the best version. Like, I don't know the Pro is the best version. By default, that's just automatically obvious, mathematically. Better volumetric lighting, less aliasing, and way higher resolution. X is 1200, 1800, Pro is 1800 to 2160. So the Pro bottoms out the resolution of the X at the very best. Shaking my head, you bots coping hard. No, what's coping hard, bro, is you with Sony's balls in your mouth. You couldn't handle that the Series X was beating the PlayStation 5 because that's the real comparison. So you wanted to grab the Pro and try to dump it over it and cope. You think you're going to come in here and manipulate me? That's not going to happen. Sit your punk ass down. You just got owned and you got schooled. And my master detective skills are not playing any games, bro. See what he tried to do over here, y'all? He keeps on talking about the PS5 Pro because he can't face the reality of PlayStation 5 not outperforming the Series X and it losing to it. And Digital Foundry made that clear. So he tried to talk about, I took one small aspect. No, the small aspects that were highlighted in this video were showing that the Series X was outperforming the PlayStation 5 and upholding a higher resolution. Then he tries to grab the Pro. What the hell does that have to do with what we're talking about here? We're talking about the Series X and the PS5. Those are the aspects that I was highlighting. And now you're talking about misinformation when you're bringing in the Pro. It's like, what are we talking about here? No, it's not going to work, bro. See what this idiot says. When are you going to also inform your ex dummies that 1800p is not compatible with most TVs and they are actually getting 1480p at tops? What are we talking about? If the game is limited to 1800p, the TV downscales it to 1480p. Indiana Jones is native 4K, but limits the Xbox to 1800p in order to achieve 60 frames per second. On the other hand, the Pro is 4K 60. Guys, don't listen to that. We're going to act like we never heard that because he's trying to downgrade our brain cells. What are we talking about here, y'all? I think we all need to slap him. Get some powder in our hands. Slap the hell out of him. Let's see what Kuhn has to say right here. Okay, so he says, Coppery Singer to him, what the F are you talking about? Any 4K TV will display 1800p. That is correct. It's just not 1440p if it doesn't have that on there, or VRR. If the game is outputting at that resolution, guys, how many times are we being misinformed if we would have listened to these ponies? Do we see this continuous behavior of these people that are underneath that PlayStation label? Like saying stuff that is misinforming people. It's like, why are you typing this? If you're using a 1440p monitor, then it will top out at that resolution. Likewise, the 1080p. With 1080p, correct. PlayStation 5 didn't even have the option for 1440p or VRR until much later after launch. Correct, Series X had it, but PlayStation 5 did not. And VRR is superior on the Series X. It's based on the hardware. They're trying to use some like software like shortcut. What he's saying, Connors or whatever, however the hell you say his name, what he's saying is actually correct. This is what we do over here. We put them in their place. Ponies, sit down. We're gonna have to get WWE crunk on them, y'all. Yeah, we might have to do that. My PlayStation 5 Pro will also TKO your puny 4070. We're not going. Walking away. We're not playing that game again. We're way past that. Why are we going back to this again, y'all? Why are we going back to the 4070 again? And he said 4070 Ti. It can't even beat a 4060 Ti. Oh man, y'all. I can't, man. No, bro. You bring all that power to the ring, but like Floyd Mayweather Jr., my pro will run circles around your $2,000 4070 with better sought after optimized games for pro. Your 4070 can't run Forbidden West better than the pro. Bro, do you really think that is a problem on the PC end? Where's that problem at then? If I have a PC that's 100% more powerful than your pro and you're running it better on net, what's the problem then? It ain't hardware. It's an optimization development problem. Along with maybe some drivers and whatever else. But there's no way in hell you're really gonna try to play this game. Bro, why are you this slow? Why is this guy this slow? When you try to crank up settings past the pro, you get crazy performance issues, pop-ins, and LOD. We're done here. We see this, y'all, right? I don't know how many times we got to put this guy in his place, but it's the same thing again. When a PC bad port happens, these guys rush in like that's supposed to be good for gaming. And then they try to brag that it runs better on the Pro, when really the problem is the optimization and the engine or whatever the hell else is going on. It has nothing to do with PC. Like, come subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Sit down, Coppery. You're put in your place again, bro. What you talking about, man? You gotta wake up, man. You gotta look at the specs. You gotta know what the 4070 is capable of in the video systems. And tensor cores. NPU aspects. Look all that up. Learn something here. You don't want to see that DLSS4 transformer model. You're not ready for that. Peace out, y'all.